Alright, we're back. We're going to try to squeeze lesson 2 and 3 in. You already know what it looked like from the first tutorial, so I want you to focus on the guitar. You have your tuning pegs up here, have your neck here, this is your body, that's where all the fun stuff happens. This is your tone, volume control, depending on how your guitar is set up. You should have a tuner. If you don't have a tuner, go online and you can use a computer online tuner for free. You don't need to download anything if you're worried about viruses or anything. The next thing I want to go over quickly would be the strings. It's important to know what type of music you're playing. I recommend you get the gauge 10, depending on what you're playing. Now, gauge 10 for me, when I started out, I was popping the lighter gauge 9s. I was just popping them left and right. 10 kind of gives you a little bit more sturdiness of a string. The 11s are really stiff, usually used on acoustics or jazz guitars like the 11s. I have a Joe Pass Edition guitar and they have 11s. This acoustic is a Taylor and I have 10s on it, and my Fender Strat has 9s and the Ibanez has 10s. So I have a variation because I never know what tool I want to use for what. If I want a heavier sound, I go towards 10s, 11s. If I want a lighter sound, I go towards the 9s. Alright, so gauges and brands is totally up to you. It's up to the person. Tuning, I'm in standard E. So that's how your guitar should sound right there. Alright, so I'm in standard E 440. There's alternate tunings, but I will be discussing E. Alright, we're just going to skip right on down to the third tutorial. Told you I'm not going to take long. I believe in feeding you little by little. Um, I want to tell you this before we even get started. Learn your notes. I can't express it enough. Okay, so we want to talk about notation real quick. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of it because, one, I don't know a lot of it. I learned by ear, so I'm going to teach you by ear. But I do know theory and how basic chords go together. I also know my notes. Okay, so you have E here, A, D, G, B, and E. Alright, now, so that means when you start playing, it's almost set up like the alphabet. Your first fret is going to be F, it's going to be F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and E. Now, if you're going backwards, all the sharps will now become flats. So D sharp is considered E flat, C sharp is D flat, B, I don't think anybody calls that C flat. Uh, Let me see here. That's because B is not a sharp. Ha ha! Just seeing if you're still awake, because I'm barely awake. Nah, I'm just kidding. You have B flat, which is also A sharp, G sharp, which is A flat, F sharp here, which is G flat. Okay, so that's your notation there. All the other strings are just repeated. It just starts on A here, D, G, B, and C. Um, to play every song as far as church goes, I'm going to recommend that you learn your majors and minors and diminish and any dominant seventh chord. So let's just say you have a C chord. So that's made up of C, E, and G. That's a C major. This next chord is C major 7th. That's a C minor 7th. I call that a diminished. Somebody else is going to call it something else. But I call it diminished because you can do this here. That's in us almost every um, gospel song, traditional, not this contemporary praise and worship and things. I mean like old school, Southern, Pentecostal, some Church of God in Christ. And I can say Pentecostal because I grew up in that. Um, you have it diminished in a lot of the songs, and I'm going to say it's a lot of your traditional gospel songs. So I'm going to tell you to learn your major seventh, your major, your sixth, your diminished. And you have your 11s that you can learn, things like that. But I'm just saying, I would stick to those right there. Um, and that is going to be it for today. So if you take notes on those, learn what those sound like, and then we'll learn how to apply them. Because what I just showed you, you can just move those same chord formations just up and down the neck to get your different sounds to change from note to note in any given song. See you in the next one.